extension programs to help people lead healthier lives. We are
with the Ticket Stub podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
All right. Good morning, Montgomery County. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 with Mornings with Lone Star. Brought to you by Conroe Coffee and Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. We're broadcasting live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. It is Monday, July 2nd, 2018. It's a beautiful day, but it seems like it's going to rain on 4th of July. That's what the messengers of bad news tell us.
The harbingers of doom.
Yes. And sit with me is my co-host, Sean K. Thompson of C3 Productions.
That'll work.
Or Promotions. What is it?
Well, the official name is C3 Creative Content Creations,
Okay.
but I have to say C3.
Okay, C3 in the Woodlands.
That's me.
So, yeah, we're hanging out in the studio. Our special guest today around 10 o'clock, from what I understand, is going to be a return guest.
Jordan O'Neill.
Jordan O'Neill with the web series FABLE-town. I put a link on our Facebook, which we are broadcasting live on video on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to check that out, there's a link to FABLE-town right there. And check that out because it's a fantasy TV series with your favorite fantasy or classic fantasy characters.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're into that kind of stuff.
But with an edge. I mean, people are thinking, could this just be like a Once Upon a Time ripoff? No, this is based on a really grown-up graphic novel. So it's kind of like Once Upon a Time meets True Detective. Pretty hardcore. And the pilot, I watched the pilot.
Okay.
It's it ain't for your kiddies.
Ain't for your kiddies.
Ain't for the kiddies.
All right.
It's awesome.
Was Monday for the kiddies?
Monday's always fun day for the kiddies.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, we should have done Manic Monday instead of. Why did you pick Thriller today?
Oh, because that was supposed to be kind of like FABLE-town. It's edgy and it's
okay.
It has zombies. I mean, I imagine there's one zombie in FABLE-town. Am I wrong?
Maybe a golem will be coming.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not a 4. Let's do some weather and traffic, and then we'll get back to the regular programming. Looking at traffic conditions on the I-45. The only thing I'm really seeing that needs to be said to folks is heading northbound on I-45. There's an accident being reported on I-45 northbound just right before Ray for Sawdust. So if you're in the spring area by Wet and Wild going north, you're going to be pretty much backed up till about Cypresswood. So I feel sorry for those folks saying northbound on I-45. But outside that, I don't see any accidents or instances over in New Caney on Highway 59, 69, whatever they call it these days. East to west, I'm not seeing any accidents on 105, 2854, 1488 or 242. So everything's good in the Montgomery County area. Okay, cool. All right. What's going on with weather?
Weather, it is currently 81 degrees already, going up to 97 today. Holy cow. 87% humidity makes it already feel like 89. It's going to be hot and muggy today and tomorrow. 1% chance of rain all day, all night, and all through tomorrow. However, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, temperatures the good news, temperatures will drop because they usually drop when massive thunderstorms roll through. So apparently starting Wednesday, we're going to have some huge honking thunderstorms happen all through the weekend. So in fact, the high on Wednesday is scheduled to be 13 degrees lower than the high on Tuesday. So that's about it. Only 3-mile-an-hour wind out of the southwest, according to the official Lone Star weather tree outside the window.
Yes. There you go. So we got FABLE-town coming in with Jordan. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you have questions for him, you know what to do. Social media, Twitter, Facebook, all that, blah, blah, blah. Till then, we're going to be doing kind of headlines, local news, what's going on over the week, because it is July 4th week. and it's stuck in the middle. So we're gonna talk about that. What's going on around town? I know a lot of cool events were over the weekend, but there are a couple towns in Montgomery County doing fireworks and everything on the 4th. So we'll talk more and more about that. We do have a good guest line. We basically have a guest every day, but July 4th, which we will not be here for, unfortunately. And there'll be a replay of the show. But you can always check out our shows on podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, and other things like that. But let's talk about what anything happened over the weekend. I know the soccer world with FIFA World Cup kind of had a lot of shocks. We lost pretty much all the stars.
Okay, so I know Germany got knocked out. So who else got knocked out?
Spain, Portugal, Argentina.
What about Mexico? Are they still in?
They're playing today.
Okay, who are they playing?
They are going to be playing. Oh man, I just had it pulled up. Way to go, dude! Asking the hard questions. No, they were playing a big team. I think they're playing Brazil. So they just started 7 minutes ago. So I'll update you guys if you want to not watch the game and listen to us. But they're in the knockout rounds now. And then the next is they're going into the quarterfinals after the knockout round. So the knockout rounds mean this is actually my favorite way to watch soccer because they have to go to penalties. Someone has to win this game.
Right.
And surprisingly enough, Russia beat Spain. So I mean, we always constantly talk about, Russia rigging things. So that's an argument right there. Add that onto the list.
Okay.
No, that was a good Twitter joke though. They said that Mueller's going to start investigating the win. But yeah, so the knockout round, you know what I'm talking about with knockout rounds? So yeah,
you think more Americans are going to start watching it now because you have to win? I know a lot of Americans get turned off.
I don't think a lot of Americans are because the games start at 9 and 1 p.m. So 9 a.m., 1 p.m. And that's just kind of everyone's at work. Like no one, unless you're a Mexican fan, which is, I think a majority of people are here in Texas they might be watching today's game, but it's going to be interesting. And have you watched any of the World Cup?
No, just some highlights. So
I have a theory, and I want someone to explain this to me who's ever been to the World Cup. Do they have welcome tents outside the stadiums that do face paint, give you a shirt and all that stuff?
I'm sure there must be some kind
because everyone looks the same. If you look at when they show you faces of people, they all have the same face paint, they all have the same shirt, or it's too color coordinated for it to be a random party celebrating your team being at the World Cup. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go watch a Raiders game, which I guess they're moving to Las Vegas, but have you ever seen the fans of the Raiders? They're all dressed differently, but under the same guise of silver and black. But they're wearing crazy outfits, but none of them are the same. But when you watch the World Cup, a lot of them look the same. So there got to be a welcome tent and oh, here you go. We want everyone to look like they're a fan and they're all organized here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I wondered that.
It's almost like in a movie where you see a crowd scene like they're doing a protest and you can tell that all the signs were painted by the same production assistant.
Yes. And it's all right, so how grassroots is this thing? So if anyone knows any idea about the World Cup, I'd be very interested to know because that still doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Every time I see it, I go, man, I feel like there's just some propaganda thing going on. They only give tickets to people who they can know are going to dress appropriately. Because where's the streakers? I don't think I've seen one streaker.
Thank God.
Well, no. It's like a classic thing in soccer. There's always a streaker, or not even a streaker. It's more of a guy, a pitch invader. But I guess it's in Russia, so you really don't want to do that.
If 4-1 passes judgment, just let them remind you that it's 12 below zero.
No, it's not.
No, I'm just saying in Russia.
Yeah. Actually, they reported the game yesterday. The Croatia team was reporting it was too humid.
Really?
Yeah, they had a hard time with it, which is kind of funny. But today Brazil plays Mexico and Belgium plays Japan. I think the knockout rounds continue all the way through Tuesday, and then it goes down to they skip a couple days, and then of course Friday comes the quarterfinals. So that's when it's exciting to watch soccer for this week and next week. That's for sure.
So when is the final slated to air? Today?
Sometimes next week. I can look it up real quick. I'm looking it up right now. It should be. I think.
And this is a one game wins all, right? This isn't like in an American game.
It's
5 of 7.
It's the 15th.
July 15th. The Ides of July.
So yeah, I think actually Stuart Holden is doing the Fox if you don't know who Stuart Holden is, I think he's doing the announcing for this, and he's a Houston guy.
Cool.
So, yeah, he played for. Yeah, he's a big Dynamo dude. But yeah, that's the soccer talk. That's what's going on.
Soccer talk. We should have like music behind that.
Yeah.
Dun,
Did
dun, dun, dun,
you
soccer
see
talk.
that LeBron James is going to the LA Lakers?
Yeah, I saw that, and I've seen it like all over the headlines today, and yet I still could not care any less.
Well, I think what's funny about it, and I'm not a huge NBA fan. If you're an NBA fan, let us know. But apparently, this shifts the competitiveness of the league because apparently LeBron James is the only one that was keeping the East competitive, and now no one plays well apparently in the East. So if you're a team that supports the East, maybe that's a good sign that it's kind of a toss up, for who's going to be the East champions, because apparently they don't have any good star players anymore.
Still not feeling,
Yeah.
any
You don't think
sense
that much
to-
money is a lot of money? I think it was like $150 million for 3 years, something like that.
Oh my, well, yeah, that's the thing. I just saw in Houston, someone just got a like $140 million deal for 4 years, like 120 million for, so that's $30 million a year. And I think it was either an Astro or
Yeah, no,
Rocket.
it was Chris Paul.
Yeah, and that's all over. I mean, those are all over my headlines all over the weekend too. And I resolved. I don't want to say, I've resigned myself to the fact that sports is big money, and those who cry out, "Oh, we don't have money for this or that," well, they have it for 120 million for 4 years for a single player. I resigned myself to the fact that that's a fact of life. I don't have to like it. And so I get these things on my head.
Well,
My phone's blowing up a weekend long.
One thing
Ball is coming
I'm
in.
interested in, and this is something that I've noticed just because I like soccer, is the Astros won the World Series, the Rockets have won 2 championships, and then they did really well last season, but like there's zero advertising for Houston Dynamo. Have you ever seen billboards?
Zero, no, nothing.
I mean, like nothing.
It's all fan based.
So
Wear your orange. Wear your orange. That's it.
So I mean, I don't know how. I'm just curious, how much impact does the city have with the teams, the sport teams?
They have their favorites, and usually the favorite is when they start winning. If the Dynamo actually had started,
Well, they've won several times.
yeah, but if they start winning national stuff,
They did.
did they?
Yeah, they won 3. They actually, I think they've won more than the most teams. They won the not the World Series, but like equivalent to the World Series.
And that's kind of my point, that
No one cares.
no one cared. The city of Houston didn't. Where's the parade for them?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's interesting. But yeah, that's the soccer and sports news. I know none of us really care about that kind of stuff.
Well, no, there are those that do it. I'm not trying to belittle those who are
people were
fans.
saying LeBron James could come to Houston,
Yay.
but I don't really.
I
know.
remember when we got Charles Barkley, and I was like, oh yeah, there's gonna do. No, I don't think we won that year.
I might have came close. I mean, I have no idea. But you know what I did see,
Who did you see?
and we can take a break real quick. But I did finally saw the Last Jedi, the Star Wars Last Jedi.
You hadn't seen it yet.
No,
Oh wow.
so it's on Netflix, and I checked it out,
Mhm.
and it was boring. And I don't know if that's because I just hate Star Wars, but there were some really neat scenes, and then there was some really weird, like what's going on here? Is this supposed to be a joke? Because there's 2 scenes that stuck out the most to me that did not feel like Star Wars at all. Was in the opening scene where the pilot is calling the general, the bad guy
Oh
general.
yeah, I'm on hold.
Yeah, like that really felt
That
out of
was
place.
so Earth-like.
That was so out of place.
Uh-huh.
And then when he tosses the lightsaber behind him, like I don't really know who Luke Skywalker is after watching that.
Luke Skywalker did not know who Luke Skywalker
So does that make
was.
sense?
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's why
anyone's
Mark
seen
Hamill's
it. I
like,
don't-
what is this?
Like, yeah, even like his struggle, I was like, I don't know who this is. Like, I don't care that he's having a hard time here.
Well, my biggest problem with the struggle is that, here's Darth Vader going, I'm going to give up everything because I believe there's good inside of you. Yet the first hint of possible scintilla of trouble from Kylo Ren. And
He
tries
wants to kill him.
kill him with the lightsaber. It's like, what? That's why you can see why Mark Hamill had some issues with his character development.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would love to hear other people's thoughts, but I'm going to know late to that party. But we're going to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back.
You Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Something evil's lurking in the dark.
All right, welcome back. Morning's Lone Star, brought to you by Conroe Coffee and Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. We're going to have Fabletown Studio around 10 o'clock, so stick around for that. 7:19. No, it's not. It's 9:19. Laptop. Update.
7:19 Pacific.
But, yeah, my, I guess he's just stuck at the beach.
Do what?
My laptop.
Uh-oh.
Because it says 7:19 on the laptop.
Yeah, it's still in holiday mode.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, no, I saw The Last Jedi, and I was there were some really neat moments, and then there weren't some really neat moments. Like, okay, explain this to me. If you can hyperspace into ships and destroy, like, because I remember the beginning of the movie, they were like making a big deal about, oh, if we destroy a dreadnought, that's a great morale booster.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of the film, they do a technique where she hyperspaces into the ship, and literally, like, samurai sword cuts through like a tear of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, so if people are that desperate, why aren't people doing that more?
Yeah, because that would have been the first thing they would have found. Like, what? Hey, someone.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you first invent hyper technology, one of the first questions someone's going to ask is, hey, what happens if there's a ship in front of me? What's going to happen? Well, you'll tear it right down the middle. Great. Let's put that down in the war book.
Yeah.
Or just have drones that do it. You know, set the thing on autopilot.
Yeah. I don't really get it.
Well.
And then how did the bombs fall if there's no gravity in space?
Well, the Star Wars universe has a lot of magnetic field technology.
Okay.
You notice that, like, on the Death Star, ships would just go through the open windows. Even though people were inside.
Yeah, so you think they had like a magnet to not go into up?
Yeah, kind of like a magnetic field on that. Because also remember, the doors were open, and Rose's sister is still laying there breathing and not getting sucked out.
That scene sucked too.
My biggest plot hole issue is to take the
Were the
character development
nipples?
aside. Wait, what?
You don't remember that? Like the random animals just hanging
Oh
on the
yeah,
cliff,
drinking the milk from
and
the.
he just kind of looks at her like, ugh.
That was. I think that was probably Mark Hamill looking at the director like, I can't believe you're making me drink.
Well, I know there was several times I'm watching. I go, what am I watching right now? Like, I don't know if it's a parody or if it's.
There were a lot of. There were some in jokes, and that's why I didn't like Lethal Weapon with each new movie because it became more of an in joke of itself. Started making fun of itself, and this had some in joke moments that I didn't fit a lot. Like as you said, when he's saying, "I'm on hold for so and so," still holding. That is such an Earth thing. It didn't feel like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But my biggest plot hole issue, take the character development aside, was when they're being chased. The whole movie, they're just being chased by the bad guys. Why don't the bad guys just hyper in front of them for like say, okay, we're going to go in hyperspace for like 1 second and get in front of them or get into range? I think
they try to explain that, but it didn't really make a lot of
sense.
They're
saying if they go into hyperspace, they'll overshoot us. So they have to, but we're going basically maximum impulse. If you're talking Star Trek terms.
Yeah.
So if we go to warp, we'll overshoot them. Fine, go to warp and then.
I mean, how many? Well, because one thing that I did not grasp, and I bet there's there's a book written or something kind of lore-ish, but if I remember correctly, at the end of episode 7, which would be, or episode 6, sorry, that's the old Star Wars. That's Return of the Jedi, where Darth Vader, throws Palpatine down the chute, and
so all is forgiven.
And then, he has that nice moment with his dad and everything. So, explain to me how we're in the condition now where the rebels are now like 3 ships, and the First Order out of nowhere is like all powerful. Did something happen? Was there did they talk about that?
No, well, I'm sure in the extended universe and the comics and graphic novels.
But is that there though? I don't think that's there. I feel it was kind of like, let the audience believe it because they don't know.
Well, or they could be setting themselves for episodes 6.4, 6.5.
I mean, I hope because really, I mean, I'm trying to understand the concept behind like how big are these governments or big are these resistance? Because the resistance is different from the rebels, right? Or no? Am I wrong? Because they kept saying the resistance, so I didn't know if there was there might have been like another splinter faction.
Well, no, it's the same.
Because that's what the First Order is, right? Basically, that's a splinter faction.
Yeah, when the Empire fell, they're like, "Hey, great! Now let's bring the Old Republic back." And realize, who knows? Maybe the Old Republic was the New Republic was corrupt. Maybe that the galaxy was just so big that you couldn't.
Well, because the timeline
would take weeks to get the word out there.
Didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, it happened so fast. It's like the Empire. It's not like 50 years passed between the Empire. It's not unlike the Third Reich, falling, Hitler falling, and then literally
having somewhere
20 years later. Oh, we're not the Third Reich, but this is not a political thing. It's not to open up a conversation over who the Nazis are in America right now. But what I'm saying, there's no Fourth Reich suddenly popping up.
Yeah, I just didn't get that. I didn't get how they got there.
They got there because it was in the script.
Yeah. I mean, that was really poorly written. I can't believe no one actually sat there and be like, what are we doing here?
Well, some people did. Hamill did. He talked to the director like, what? I can imagine him just storming the office. What the hell is this? You got me whining the whole time and then doing a fake fight. And
do you think it had something to do with with Leia? Like they didn't really know what to do with Han and Leia.
Or
I really don't
Brett
think
calls it Leia Poppins.
Well, no, that part. I mean,
good one, Brett.
But I just don't get it. Like I really am. I was really disappointed. I was like, man,
I was disappointed too.
I kind of liked the Kylo Ren stuff though. That was good.
Oh yeah, but it's kind of a.
And I kind of like the idea of just burning it all. I was like, okay, good. So like, let's get rid of the rebels. Let's get rid of the First Order. Like I understand that because they made that kind of comment with Benicio del Toro's character. Oh, who cares? Someone wins, someone loses. Might as well make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. And they didn't really go really deep into that. Maybe that's what the next one is. But it was a hit and miss every scene,
Yeah, I was really, I'm hoping.
No, it's not going to recover. Like
you don't think so?
No, because the guy who made this one is making the next one.
Well,
So
hopefully he'll listen to people because so many wonderful things were set up in The Force Awakens. You know, Phasma, the Chrome.
Yeah, they didn't use that at all.
She dies. Snoke. Who's Snoke? Who's Snoke? It doesn't matter. He dies. You know, so many things were set up.
Who's her parents? Who cares?
Yeah. He is like, oh, they're nobody for real. So all the questions that people were like aching to find out. Nothing.
No, it's just not interesting. I don't know. But Kylo Ren, yeah.
Have you seen the Twitter feed for emo Kylo Ren?
I know.
It's really funny. It's a guy just does nonstop tweets about Kylo Ren basically being stuck in 90s grunge emo mode. And he's in a conversation with Luke Skywalker, and their Twitter conversations are pretty funny.
I mean, I still don't get. I don't understand how that movie. I mean, I really think the next one is not going to make as much money because that movie was really like. I'm not kidding you. That was a bad movie.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
No, I was left
like that. I was just like, I don't care.
If it had been on its own, or if it had been the first one, we would have been more amenable to it for the plot points and stuff. But this universe has been so firmly established with characters we either love or hate or love to hate. And it just got jacked with. I mean, whoever wrote Luke in this movie didn't know Luke, didn't know Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think
I want to talk to FABLE-town about this because they wrote the script and they adapted it from a previous thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, how do you keep the core of the character in a story that people already care about? Because that's one thing, like you said, like the step from the old version to the new version, I was like, this Luke Skywalker guy, like, I'm not really understanding what's going on. Because he went through so much emotionally with his dad. Like you said, you think you'd have a concept or a grasp of the Force. But now it's like, oh, I don't care anymore.
It's like when the going gets tough, the Jedi go hiding.
Yeah. I thought there were gonna be some revelation, especially like the random Yoda appearance. Like they didn't explain anything to me. It was just him being goofy.
Now, maybe, just maybe, do you remember the old Disney movie Dragon Slayer?
No.
From like the late 70s or early 80s?
Why would I know that? I wasn't born.
Because it had dragons in it.
Okay.
Oh, a dragon. Anyhow, Peter McNichol plays the magician's apprentice, and they're going off to go kill the dragon. And Ralph Richardson plays the wizard who's supposed to kill the dragon. And right off the bat, Ralph Richardson dares the bad guy to kill him. And the bad guy does. And so the whole time, Peter McNichol's got his ashes like, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And then the magician or the wizard resurrects himself at the end saying, there's no way I could have made the journey. So this way I was able to make it so I can kill the dragon. I'm hoping that maybe Luke did the same thing because he just dies or disappears for no reason at the end. So maybe he's thinking, well, now I can actually do stuff.
Well, no, that's one thing that I was wondering as a writer, doing like someone handed you the rights to do Star Wars, and you're dealing with a cast that's 40 years older, right? Like how much older is it from The Last Jedi?
Real time, 30 years.
30 years. So I mean they're older, and then Carrie Fisher passes, so you're kind of screwed with that. And then you have Harrison Ford, who probably didn't want to be in the movie, and then like they really had an opportunity.
Well, Ford wanted to die at the end of Return of the Jedi. He wanted to be in the Millennium Falcon, and it gets blown up when the new Death Star blows up. And they changed it, and so he groused about that. He just grouses a lot.
Yeah.
Are you I know this is like a quick subject change, but over the weekend, that African dust storm, did it hit you?
No.
It is still hitting me, I'm telling you.
What do you mean?
There's this huge dust storm from Africa that actually made it across the ocean and hit Texas over the weekend.
Really?
Now, unfortunately, the night it hit, that was when I had to sleep with the windows open all night long because the air conditioner was broken. So in order for me to survive sleeping in my house that night, and I'd sent Mrs. Skippy off elsewhere to rest in air conditioning comfort, I've been trying to recover from that stupid African dust storm.
That's crazy. That's pretty funny though. I didn't know that. I'm kind of locked up this weekend. So, but no, I wanted to talk about a little bit about The Last Jedi just because I saw it, and Holly had my favorite thing that I was telling you about Holly. Holly watched it, and she thought Rogue One was the main Star Wars plot. So she kept asking questions about characters from Rogue One, and I was just like, I don't even want to try this because it was really funny because she started going like, I'm not really understanding. Where's the lady? Did they really die at the end? And like, weren't they all dead? Isn't that the end of the Star Wars? Like, it's not supposed to be the end. I was like, let's just hope so, because this is bad. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star, irlonestar.com, and we'll be right back. It's 9:32. We're gonna have the folks from Fabletown back in the studio talking about the pilot release. So if you're into independent filmmaking and want to try something new, let's learn more about the pilot that's available. And I think their fundraising is still going on for their web series of Fabletown. So we'll have Jordan back in the studio here shortly. It's 9:32. We'll be right back.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Want to check out the fastest growing sport in the world? It's right here in Conroe, Texas, and it's roller derby. Conroe Roller Derby is a nonprofit recreational league of women and men who want you to come and check out the fast-paced, hard-hitting game of roller derby. The Conroe Cutthroats practice at Rainbow Roller Rink on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can find our game schedule and more information on our website, www.conroerollerderby.com.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Welcome back to Mornings with Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com. 9:35 here, folks. Hanging out in the studio in downtown Conroe. So we were talking about Star Wars. I finally got to see it, and I haven't seen anything about the new one coming out. So what is the next Star Wars?
Sometime in 2019.
Okay, so they're not doing like a Han Solo 2?
They were going to. In fact, it was going to be, what was the other one? They'd already started on it, another one of the secondary films, and they pulled back because Solo did not do well in the box office. So I think they're waiting. They're probably thinking, okay, maybe there's a bit of burnout. So let's wait to see.
Oh, I don't think it's burnout. I think it's just make a good movie.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. In the old days of Star Wars, you could have episode, Last Jedi could have been one of the original movies and people would have loved it because not all the mythology had been set and the fan base wasn't so set that they're like, wait, you can't do that. Luke wouldn't do that. That's the wrong color lightsaber. Whatever. This is too late in the game to come up with a substandard plot with too many holes.
I don't know. I think the weakness in it was the script, the dialogue, and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely the script.
It was kind of all over the place with the characters, and I got confused pretty easily. That's because I'm not a very smart person. But
here, see, to me, The Last Jedi is the Star Trek V, the Final Frontier of the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
That maybe the original script was great. I heard about the original script for Star Trek V. That was the one that Shatner directed that was just universally panned. It's when they go look for God and they break every known law of physics as well as Star Trek physics to get there. It's like, oh, we got to get to the center of the galaxy where there's this mysterious barrier that we've never heard of before. And it'll take us about 2 days to get there. That just flies in the face of all things Star Trek. And then it's, when you have Spock saying, what does God need with the starship? It was bad, but when you read about the original script, it would have been better. Not great, not award-winning, but better. And I think same thing with this. Maybe the original plot that Luke was going to do more, and then it just got committed to death or downsized. Who knows? But it was just disappointment.
Next.
We can ask Jordan when he comes in today what he would have done differently.
Well, I think as a writer, that's the thing. I don't really get where they were going because it's almost like everyone involved in the movie either didn't watch The Force Awakens or they didn't watch any Star Wars.
Like Highlander 2 or the
Yes.
second season of War of the Worlds, where you had the bean counter say, okay, here are our ideas. And since we're paying for it, you got to go with what we do. And they never seen it.
Well, do you think, because that's one thing I've noticed a lot about a lot of bigger movies. They're trying to be more political or more conscientious of things. And I'm like, this movie didn't seem too bad, like about that kind of thing. Did you notice anything like that?
No. Nothing that had not already been previously established in the Star Wars universe. Empire bad, First Order bad, Rebels, Resistance good.
Yeah.
And so if it had been a change from the other way around, you would have looked at, okay, because you remember when the original Star Wars came out, that's when we had Iran-Contra going on, where freedom fighters were the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually backing them up against the bad guys. So freedom fighters going into Afghanistan against the Russians. So, no, nothing's been changed. They didn't get too political on this one. They just got dumb.
And I agree with Brett on Facebook. They need to find a balance of making a good movie.
They need to bring balance to The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
That's great. But all right, let's move on. Local news. I know we were talking about the voting on the 30th, which happened over the weekend for place 4 of the Conroe City Council. McDonald won the runoff election over
Annie Jefferson Burnett.
Yes, and he won with 67% of the vote. And congratulations to him. So there you go.
Yeah, there he is. So I'm guessing a swearing in, and I think the swearing in on this one happens pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's not like there's a general now later on. This is for the actual position. Yeah. And something that happened on Saturday, because we had some July 4th type celebrations going on, like the Conroe Symphony up here. But a little farther south on Saturday, they actually had the Tamina Sweet Rest Cemetery fundraiser. This is a historic cemetery that found itself still underwater.
Okay.
After Harvey, like 260 graves still underwater. And this is a really historic preservation here. And so they trying to raise like $5,000 to remediate, I guess is the best way to put it, the water damage, to try and get it back above water level. And a lot of people came out. I know Congressman Kevin Brady offered his support, and I think they proclaimed it officially Tamina Sweet Rest Cemetery Day. So if you want to check your local courier, Conroe Courier, go to yourconroenews.com, and it has the email address and phone number of the people in charge of that if you still want to donate to it. It's not a sexy cause for sure, but it's one that I think is, really helpful and very humane. So yeah, there you go. That's what happened over the weekend.
Have you seen this continuous problem the city of Conroe is facing with this container business?
No, talk to me.
So they've been having a lot of basically just official discussions about what commercial businesses, what private businesses, and what residential business or residential homes can have a shipping container. in the public eye, basically on the streets or whatever. And what's funny is I've been around Conroe for a while. I haven't really seen that many shipping containers.
Nope, nor I.
So I'm trying to smell like, where's the one guy who's upset?
Well, that's the thing, is something we'll get in the media. Think about a month ago, flat earthers were everywhere, right? The civilization was teetering on the brink of falling off the edge of the earth because the flat earthers, they were still out there and they were amongst us. We heard anything about them since?
No.
It was literally a week of all things idiotic about flat earthers. There are probably 14 of them in the entire country. They probably have, a singular club.
Maybe they're just quiet about it.
Well, no, apparently, you had these 3 idiots who were trying to talk about using plates and pitchers of water to show that the earth was flat. It lasted a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then that was it. So everyone was like, oh, all the media was saying, yeah, flat earthers everywhere. Welcome to present day America. And no, it was just, have you seen those Facebook memes where it's this really stupid fashion trend, like nostril hairs with mascara, or women braiding their eyebrows or something?
Wait, that's real?
Well, that's what people go, oh, see why everyone's talking about this. Actually, no one's talking about it. You're the only one who's put anything out about it, but that's how you make it a story. And so then the local news grabs it. Oh, now the latest thing is fuzzy fingernails. That's the latest fashion trend. No, it isn't. There's one person with a video camera.
I'm starting to notice that a lot with the most recent probably year of news is a lot of the off-topic weird headlines, like that mummification guy from UCLA dying. Like, why is that reaching me? How is it getting that pushed towards what
you won't believe what happened. Click here to find out more.
And I think that's really like the craziest thing about the border deal, because you were kind of talking about that's one of those normal news cycles where it'll disappear in a week or two or wherever, and there'll be the next thing.
Here's the thing. Remember how the horrible in Annapolis, the horrible shooting of the newspaper office? Terrible. 5 reporters killed. A shotgun was used, and it wasn't a school, and it wasn't, you couldn't put it back on any particular.
You couldn't make the angle.
Yeah, it could make the. So
it
literally,
from what I saw, like within 24 hours, everyone kind of presumed what happened was he was just a upset person who, they wrote an article about, and he stalked somebody, which is really creepy.
There were 2 or 3 reporters who tried to tie it into the current president. Basically, welcome to Trump's America. They did this, and then it turned out that this guy's beef with the newspaper happened years back when the previous president was in power, which means absolutely nothing. The fact that whoever president means nothing in this scenario. So it went away. Why report on it if it doesn't promote our agenda?
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Well, anything else going on?
Yeah, we want to go national or world?
Let's do national.
National. Seattle is the first city to institute a ban on plastic straws and utensils for restaurants to hand them out. Now, again, you read the headline, you think, oh my gosh, that goes against everything. They're actually, in my opinion, doing it right. And I've said in the past, for good or ill, you got your Seattles and your Californias of the world that do. When I say they're progressive, I mean they're usually the first to do something, to try something new. Half the time it doesn't work. Half the time maybe it does. This is one where restaurants can still pass out sporks and straws upon request, but they don't automatically hand them out. They're not out there for people to grab. And I know that actually Rick, the Reluctant Cowboy, we were out the other day, and he and his wife brought metal straws with their own rubber tips, saying they don't do plastic straws anymore because, it saves the turtles or whatnot. And because of that, I actually did the same thing. Went out, and Mrs. Skippy and I got a couple. We're saving something, it takes just a little bit at a time. But this is, instead of forcing business owners going, no, you can never have any sporks and you're going to inconvenience your people, your customers.
Well, what do you think really works on managing local government? Whereas, do you think it's better to incentives or better to do restrictions?
Incentives. The carrot.
Or when has restrictions really worked, though?
When you're not a business owner.
Okay. Well, what about like building things? It's good to
incentives. over restrictions.
So
Let's look at the economy now.
Well, are you saying there's an incentive? Like, how do you set up building like permits or basically guidelines on what to do, not to do when building a room? Like there's what do you call it? I'm missing the word.
Blueprint?
No, it's building the code. Basically having a code.
Yeah,
those are restrictions, right? That's not an incentive. But those are good to have.
In that context, yeah, because that is, you're not telling a business how to do its business. You're telling a business this is how you're going to keep from going out of business. All it takes, you don't build this to code, people die, and you get sued. So,
yeah, but that's not what they're telling people. It's just like, hey, here's the code. Follow the code.
Yeah, well, you can't have all carrot, no stick. But on the whole, for a business, think about it. If you do over-regulation and this whole carbon footprint, if you punish businesses for trying to be successful, they leave. When you give them tax breaks and incentives and say, listen, we're going to ease this restriction, or we're going to give you a choice on something. With Seattle, then it goes against. Remember when the previous president said, "You didn't make that, you didn't build that business. People, the community did," and that ticked off a lot of business owners to say, me forming C3, the presidency had absolutely nothing to do with it. I received zero help whatsoever. Nothing from the SBA, nothing from no one. That's mine. So to have a president say, that's not yours, you didn't build it, the community built it. And it ticked off a lot of business owners. So with Seattle, the same with Seattle with the utensils, the wrong way to do it, the punishment would have been, you have to get rid of all straws and all utensils and come up with an alternate plan so your people can eat without using their fingers. And if you don't, we're going to fine you. That, to a business owner, that's like, why are you doing this to me? You're making it hard for me to be successful. What this Seattle ordinance is you got to keep them behind the register and can only give them out if someone asks. If no one asks, they've got their own. And again, like banning plastic bags in Australia, they're talking about, because there's the plastic ban. There's actual rage going on, incidents of people going grocery shopping, like, you got to bag my stuff. Well, no more bags allowed.
Well, it's like that pumping thing, and I believe it was in Washington State.
The pumping thing?
Yeah, pumping. Like you had to pump your own gas.
Oh yeah, pumping, huh?
And people were freaking out because they usually it wasn't never self-service. You had it, like, it was by law that you had to have somebody pump the gas for you to keep
I'm just staggered that still existed. Full service.
Yeah. You're listening to Mornings Lone Star. We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget FABLE-town's coming in. It's 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock right now. We'll talk more to them. Check out our Facebook live feed for a link to FABLE-town, to their Facebook page, and learn more about that. They were in the studio earlier, I think last month or 2 months ago, and they have an update because they dropped the pilot episode of FABLE-town. It's 9:49. We'll be right back.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast. Create your first YouTube channel and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Health Center Southeast Texas is a federally qualified health center. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most major private insurances. For our self-pay patients, we have a sliding scale discount program available. Our health centers have qualified providers and staff striving every day to provide the best quality of care to our patients. Services offered are family medicine, behavioral health services, telepsychiatry, and pediatrics. We have 4 area locations. Look up the Health Center Southeast Texas online at hcset.com.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Welcome back. Morning's Lone Star, Dick and Skippy. We're still who we are at 9:54 on the dot in the studio. We're happily sponsored by Conroe Coffee, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Dick, the one thing I wasn't able to get out for yesterday, Conroe Coffee had their first, that tea.
Yeah, the cream tea.
Yeah, I want to see how it went. I saw some friends of mine went to experience it.
Okay.
And they posted on Facebook, so it looks like it was a great event. And I'm so sorry I missed it, and hopefully there's another one coming up soon. I just thought I'd mention that. So shout out to Leo.
I think 4th of July, it's coming on Wednesday. I know the Woodlands is doing a parade that you're involved with.
Yeah, I will be announcing.
And they're doing fireworks.
I'll be announcing the parade Wednesday morning, which will be a lot of fun. Well, yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
Well, what do you think about the weather? Like, what do you do? What about this? What about the grill? 4th of July, what does it mean to you?
I got invented the patio.
You think so?
Yeah, there's a covered patio.
And the sprinkler system where you could have your own little water park. That's what I remember growing up.
Yeah, hefty bags, bricks, and a water hose. We had our own slip and slide.
Yeah. Well, because that was just something everyone could be outside to do all day. But now it's going to rain. Apparently, you think it's going to drown out your parade? Will they even do the parade if it rains?
If there's like a rain, no.
Rain? No, but rain.
Now, if it's rain, then yeah, they may have to.
Okay.
But just think about it. So many people put stuff together. Most of the floats are either covered or just that they won't get destroyed underwater. And in honesty, if it cools down the temperature, everyone's wearing hats anyways.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's like it would be like canceling the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because it's.
Has it ever been canceled?
I don't know. Probably during wartime.
Well, I would say the rain deeply affects any event out in Montgomery County. A lot of people will not come to an event. Would you say? I think
it depends on the event.
It's kind of normal across the country, but the parades. Because it's actually pretty interesting when they have parades downtown here, and I've been to several down here because of the station. It's like one year it'll be packed. I'm talking all 9 square blocks. People were everywhere, and then a couple times it's like only a fourth of the square block, 9 square blocks is taken up. So I always wonder what motivates people to go to these kind of events. Because what would you think would motivate people to go to the Woodlands and see the parade? What motivates people?
I hate to sound schmaltzy, community support, getting out there and just seeing
who's going to be in the parade? That's something I don't really get. Is it usually
businesses,
local
nonprofits? Again, my brownie troop, we had a float in the parade one time, and it was just the girls. We were on a trailer, and the dads walked alongside, and the girls were there just waving to everybody and throwing out candy, and the thousands of people who watched just ate it up. It's okay to celebrate your country. It's okay to be proud and to be a patriot. For some reason, it became a dirty word to become a patriot or successful businessman or rich or something. And no, just enjoy the day.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go over that a little bit. I do want to let people know tomorrow, if you're in the Montgomery County area, on July 3rd, the Woodlands Mitchell Pavilion is hosting the Houston Symphony for the free event. Basically, it's a Star Spangled Salute, and doors open at 6:30. I think the lawn seats are free.
And
then the mezzanine,
yeah, the covered seats, and we're actually sitting provided installed seating environment.
But that's going on. That's free for folks. I've done that before. You can bring your own food and all that kind of stuff. So it's really. Did I ever tell you the funny story about me doing that?
No.
So I had a friend that give me tickets to 2 nights. They had, I think it was like on a Friday night, they had ballet, and then Saturday night they had the symphony. And they gave me tickets, seat tickets to both events at the same seat. And so I've read that you can make your own food, you can bring it in. So I made a lot of food. I took a date on Friday night. And so I made this whole picnic thing. It was really great. We had a wonderful time. Well, I had tickets to the next night. So one of my friends who happened to be a female, so I took her and I just brought the leftovers. And I'll never forget sitting there, and I ran into a person who ran was like helping with the event, saw me both nights and was like, well, okay, 2 women, huh? And then my neighbors were kind of laughing because I was there again with the exact same setup. And then I realized how bad that looked afterwards.
Dick's a player. He's a player.
But that's happening July 3rd, folks. If you want to get out with your family before the rain comes, that'd be a good idea. It's free for the lawn. Houston Symphony puts on a good show, the Star Spangled Salute. Check out more information on the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion website, and to learn what you can bring in, what you can't bring out. And I guess would you bring out?
I'd bring an umbrella.
Yeah. But
and a tarp.
And then let's talk a little bit more about the parade in the Woodlands. Do you know any details on it?
There will be floats.
Okay, it starts at 9 a.m.
It does start at 9 a.m. Starts off at Market Street area.
Okay.
And I will be myself at Market Street. On the second level, there's a balcony above the concierge desk over the green commons. And yeah, we'll be thanking all the people who participated, describing floats. It'll be like the kind of color commentary as Woodlands Online live streams it. And so if you go to woodlandsonline.com, you'll be able to see a live stream of the parade and hear the dulcet tones of my voice describing.
Does any major network really film fireworks? Because I remember the folks doing the ball drop for New Year's. Did they do anything for 4th of July?
No, they'll be.
Houston used to do something pretty big. They used to always do a big show.
Well, yeah, it'd be the energy Reliant. Sorry, I had to think about that. Used to have the big fire. They used to sponsor the big
park
fireworks
on the side of the highway.
Yes, I once upon a time I dated a lady who had a condo on Allen Parkway that oversaw downtown, and talk about being out on that balcony with great view. Oh yeah, it was the Reliant Energy Houston fireworks spectacular.
Well, in the Woodlands, they're going to be starting around 9:10, 9:10, and 9:20, different places. So you can do the waterway or any area over there is a good area.
Yeah, it's a great route. It hits a lot of different neighborhoods as best as it can.
Well, Brett lets us know the national exhibit in DC on all 3 major networks, which I don't know. Is that Fox, ABC, and
ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Okay.
Fox is late to the party.
No, usual. Yeah.
And we don't talk about UPN. Well, no, UPN's not there anymore. What is it? CW. The CW. And apparently Paramount has finally come back with its own network again.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the first episode of Yellowstone.
And
which Kevin Costner's in it, so I was really interested. And it's about a cowboy, so I was like, Kevin Costner's a good cowboy. I'll watch that.
There you go.
So
who is the better Wyatt Earp, Kurt Russell or Kevin Costner?
I don't really know the actual Wyatt Earp character. I don't know what he was supposed to be like.
So what would be the best representation?
I have no idea. I like both of them. The Wyatt Earp movie, the Wyatt Earp with Kevin, it was just too long. Because I don't know. It's not like movies are 3+ hours. He's really notorious for doing that.
He loves the long movies.
But Tombstone was more exciting, mainly because Val Kilmer was in it.
Amelia Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We can all quote Tombstone. Several quotes from Tombstone. Yeah. And hell's coming with me. But I can't remember a single quote from the Wyatt Earp movie.
No, I just remember the shootout scene where it actually gave into that myth that he didn't get shot, and it was because of like his coat was so wide. They thought he became bigger than he really was. I remember reading that myth about the shootout.
Yeah, and the same shootout happened in a season 3 episode of Star Trek too. Yeah. Spectre of the Gun.
Thank you. But yeah, outside that 4th of July, anything else going on? You got, you have big plans besides sitting. You're probably sitting indoors streaming it too. All those poor souls getting rained on.
Well, I'll be in a covered balcony.
So,
but yeah, because we have to protect the equipment and the talent.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. But no, definitely come watch the parade and bring your phones, laptops, get the Woodlands Online app, and just listen along. You can find out what's happening where. There's also the Red, Hot, and Blue celebration going on at Town Green Park. And again, unless it's like honking storming, it'll be going on. Lots of fun stuff happening.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, let's get Jordan here in a bit, and we're having him coming up.
Yeah, he's been vulturing outside the door for the last 5 minutes.
We're going to take a quick break here on Mornings of Lone Star. We're excited about 4th of July this week, folks. Just to remind you, we're not going to be here on that Wednesday, but we do have a full lineup outside that with guests, charities, and all those kind of things coming your way. It is the beginning of the new month, so a lot of things are rotating in and out. We're excited about 4th of July. We're not excited about the weather. We'll keep you updated. When we come back, we'll do some weather and traffic, and then get Jordan in from Fabletown. So stick around.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com. Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
You feel the cold. I wonder if you ever see the sun. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination.
Welcome back. Mornings with Lone Star, Dick and Skippy, 10:08 on the dot on Monday, July the 2nd, 2 days before July the 4th, and a mere 8 days from my birthday.
Well, you know what we forgot to mention to folks who are used to seeing the duck race from the Crisis Assistance Center. They moved it to August.
Right, they
So
did.
make sure they get that.
Yeah, so
And,
do be aware. Your dad being on, do be aware of it. Usually, it's a July 4th thing that they would happen at the Rob Fleming Aquatic Center, and we're having some technical issues. Yeah, just keep turning till you hear something. Anything? There we go. Okay, we have something. Oh, it goes up to 11. I can't remember the actual date in August. I think I don't want to make up a date at random. August 27th, if not then, some other day in August, will be the duck race. So still plenty of time to sponsor your duck. Look up.
They're set for August 25th.
25th. I was
I
on
thought
like
you
2
knew
days
that.
off.
So
I was 2
like,
days. I knew it was 20 something, and I had like 9 days to choose from.
I've actually been to the duck race.
Did you bet on a duck though? Did you?
I bought a
sponsor
couple ducks
And
I didn't win. I didn't really actually understand who won or not because it was random. I think they gave it to like the first place duck, but then every other giveaway after that was just randomly selected. So,
well, everybody's a winner at the duck race.
Yeah, I guess.
I wonder if there's ever been a scandal like putting greasing up a duck, or putting a little rubber band engine in it, like in a Pinewood Derby.
You ever seen anyone cheat in a Pinewood Derby?
Everybody cheats in the Pinewood Derby.
Oh, okay.
It's like stealing Sweet and Low from a coffee shop. It's expected. They work it in their budget.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. All right, let's get to our guests.
Okay, so welcome back. We do not condone the theft of condiments here at Mornings with Lone Star. We got Jordan and Kristen with Fabletown back in the studio. Good morning.
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 How's it going? Welcome back. Feels like you were only here like a week or two ago.
It did feel like that.
Not to me at least, because we've been working so hard.
You've been busy little beavers, haven't you?
Yes, it feels like it's been a while.
Remind those who heard you last time, but introduce those who didn't catch you last time.
Yeah.
Exactly what Fabletown is.
Yeah, I did it last time. You might be better at summarizing it. How would you describe it?
Fabletown is based on existing property, but it's a story about imaginary fable characters, and they're the versions you think you know, imagining them hundreds of years aged, still existing in our present day life. They live in a town just like us. They deal with modern inconveniences and modern struggles, and they have to hide their true identities from the world.
So like Prince Charming may be up for a raise at the office and has to deal with that.
He gets into some legal trouble now and then.
Yeah. If he ever worked, then yeah, he might be up for
there.
You
You go.
He's just a freeloader.
There you go. Now, how does this show differentiate from? I know there's a sitcom in the '90s, I think, called The Charmings, which is a sitcom, this flat out sitcom with Snow White and Prince Charming, and of course, there's Once Upon a Time, the Disney property. So, what differentiates this from this great genre?
Well, we are definitely not a comedy. There's comedic moments for sure, or attempt at comedy, I should say. I can't claim those since they haven't been released yet. But we're definitely darker, a little more grittier than Once Upon a Time for sure. Whereas we're the whole idea going forward into it was we don't want to be the Disney versions, and that was even why we changed names when we auditioned the actors. We didn't tell them who they were playing because we didn't want people coming in playing Snow White, singing with like fake birds on their fingers and stuff like that.
What's wrong with that? I saw it 9 to 5. It worked just fine.
Not in this one. It doesn't quite play as well. But yeah, it's Once Upon a Time meets True Detective. That's how we've pitched it, and that's kind of been what the consensus is from those who have watched the pilot episode, which is on YouTube now.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things that brings you back today is when we talked last time, the pilot was about to go on YouTube, and now it's out there. So talk to me about it.
Oh man, I'm insanely proud of it. It turned out way better than it was the first. I've seen it about 17 times, probably in the 20s now. But when it finally went online, was the first time I saw it with the correct color grading, the music, the sound design, the Foley, the credits. Everything was as it should be, and I couldn't be more proud of everybody's effort on it.
Yeah, look good. And Jordan's right. I think 32 seconds in, there's some princesses talking. And they're using some language. It's like, oh, okay, this isn't Disney.
Nope.
So this is kind of gritty, hardcore. So if you're thinking it's, laugh a minute, this is like more close to the TV version of Beauty and the Beast than a Charmings or Once Upon a Time.
Most likely, yeah.
And so you said the existing property. Talk to me about that. What's the basis of this? We're trying to, if we can build the audience to say, if you read this, then this is what it is.
Fables was started. It's a graphic novel series that was started being published, I believe, in the 1980s.
Okay.
Early 1980s by DC and Vertigo. It's written by Bill Willingham. I was unfamiliar with it till Telltale Games, who's most famous for doing their Walking Dead adventure game, did a game called The Wolf Among Us, which is actually a prequel to Fables. It takes place in an undisclosed X many years before the graphic novels begin. So our story actually fits in right between that. We take place 2 years after the events of The Wolf Among Us, and the whole gimmick of the game was that you make your own choices, and that affects how the story unfolds. And we tried to make it where we're very ambiguous about what happened in The Wolf Among Us, so that your choices still matter, if that makes any sense. That we didn't choose one ending of the game to launch us into this series.
Gotcha.
So those are the existing properties.
That makes sense. Will someone have had to have read the graphic novel or played the game to get a sense of this?
It'll help. You'll catch things that others won't, but it's not necessary at all. That was the big goal, that we want people to be able to watch this and just jump right in without having seen or read anything prior.
And, obviously some bold choices going in there. Like I said, you're not playing it safe. I did like the fact that Snow White wasn't.
True. She's not white.
And, so that just, watching these people, I was trying to figure out who was who, and Snow was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Good casting choice.
Well, it's almost a good opportunity to allow an audience to reinvent their interest in these characters because of the different approaches you're doing. And it's not a safe way to do it. It's more of, why do I care about Snow White? Is it because it's a Disney movie and then that's it? Or is there an actual character there that has some interesting complexes?
Yeah.
So I think that's what's really neat about the pilot being available on YouTube. So people can check it out right now. Just type in Fabletown and you can find it. It's the YouTube channel is called Fabletown.
Yes.
So it's not hard to find. We'll actually post it to our social media and stuff so people can watch it. But that's one thing I really like, because we were talking about, I just recently saw Star Wars and the Last Jedi.
Last one.
And I was like, and I made the comment about, I felt like the people who wrote this script didn't know the characters of why people like them. And so I wanted to ask you, when you were writing, or whoever was writing the script for this, you had an idea of who Snow White was and who these characters were, plus based off the video game and things, but making that character really stand out as an individual in each. Like, why do you want the audience to care about this character? Was that a challenge, or was it something kind of like, it just came to you like, yeah, that's easy, I can just kind of base it off this storyline? Or
Oh no, it was hard. I mean, the pilot was probably the most rewritten episode. I think I have 10 to 12 drafts of it. And it was going back and making sure that Snow, I really needed to, that opening scene you said with the princesses, they're talking trash about their ex-husband, their mutual ex-husband, Prince Charming. And so from there, I wanted to see, okay, what is Snow like? Who is she without everything that made her a princess, everything that defined her? She's sort of alone. And that's why the more I rewrote it, Snow became, honestly, she's almost more the lead than Bigby is, especially in the pilot. And I just wanted to see how we could play with her. And my goal always was no damsels. Wanted no damsels in distress on this one because I'm tired of that. I think we're all tired.
We
of
need more
watching it.
Ripley's.
Yes,
that's my opinion.
Mhm.
And I like Ripley as a character.
Any possibility of a Fabletown alien crossover?
Oh man, that would get us into so much trouble. I'd love it, but I don't know. We need the money. For
I saw
sure
a
on that
Superman
one.
alien crossover one time. It was so bad.
Oh man,
he gets impregnated with a thing, but then it tries to burst through his chest and it can't. So he just literally throws it up out in space. There you go.
What are you watching?
I'm telling you, there was a Superman alien crossover comic. I kid you not.
Like official?
Yeah.
Oh,
official.
Interesting.
So, Kristen, tell us about. So, this is the pilot episode.
Yes.
Tell us how many episodes are planned for the season and what the arc is, and like what your part in it is.
Gladly. We have one episode out. There's a total of 6 in the season,
Mhm.
and my character playing Beauty. Her role is in providing background information to the main mystery. The initial conflict is realized in the pilot. You find out it's about keeping the secret of Fabletown. When someone gets discovered, when there's a sudden clash between human, mundane people and the magical fable world, and we don't know why, it's a big problem. Is there something going on behind the scenes? Who caused it? What are the repercussions? So Beauty's stake in that is protecting her husband and their life. And they have a lot of debt. They have things to protect in themselves. They want to make sure that they keep their good standing, once being royalty and having the love of the people and so on. They just want to stay out of trouble. They're done with, as much as they can, they're done with making risky decisions, and they just can't believe it happened again. So Beauty's stake in that is just doing whatever she can to help. Sometimes she takes matters into her own hands. She's a little bit more intuitive. She takes risks. She does the sudden impulsive thing when all the men are just blabbing, trying to see who's got the best ego for this moment to save the day. She'll go, my turn.
Cool. So beyond the characters, because obviously we know the characters. Let's peek behind the cameras at work. Because having launched the pilot, this is not two guys with a Super 8 camera.
No.
And change they found under the sofa cushions to, this is some hardcore production values have gone into this. Talk to me about how that came about, how you suckered people into doing this.
I mean, I come from my background. I do have a degree in filmmaking, screenwriting, directing as the focus from the University of Texas. And after I got out of school, I'm primarily an actor, as you two both know. That's how we met. And
You've been known to trod the boards from time
a
to
little
time.
bit. And I just kind of noticed doing these short films and whatnot in Houston and Austin that seems to be the huge sort of just difference between quality. There's a huge spectrum, I should say, between quality. And I'm just kind of like, and you meet a lot of people who decide that quantity is better. So they want to put out a short film every month, which is great. Go ahead and do that. If you've got the ideas, do it. But I'm such a perfectionist, I think, that I was like, okay, when I initially pitched it to one of my co-producers, I had this fantasy that, okay, here it is. In 6 months, we'll get started. And she just looked at me and said, okay, sweetie, you think that. And it took 3 years to start, 2.5 to film, and 3 years later, the pilot's out. So my whole thing was that no matter what I do, whenever I take on a project, especially something that I've written or I'm directing or I have a huge stake in, it's okay, pretend like this is your last. And I had a professor at UT always said, I don't care if you're making a 30-second video for YouTube or if you're making a feature film with Spielberg, you go for the Academy Award. He's like, that needs to be the best thing you'll ever make because it could be the last thing you ever make. So I just wanted it to be something that I could be proud of. And not only that, something that the cast could be proud of, the crew could be proud of, that could help them in their careers as well. So I told the cast at one point, look, either we're all going to rise to the top together or we'll all go, work at McDonald's together, but we'll do it together.
We're going to have the biggest table at the Razzie Awards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I go for. I don't care what the award is. Give me a Razzie. I don't care. Just give me an award.
Publicity is good, right?
Yeah, right. What's the growth potential of this? Because, I remember there was a similarly begun Star Trek fan piece that was some guy. By day, he was an Elvis impersonator. And he actually, in his garage, kind of reconstituted some of the Star Trek sets. And it started off really low budget. And after like a season or two of it, all of a sudden he got actual cast members from Star Trek coming in. And they did a sequel to The Guardian, City on the Edge of Forever, and became big budget. It just grew. So is this possible also for Fabletown?
I mean, yeah, we've even on this one, we had actors from New York and Los Angeles sending in tapes for 2 characters that show up a little near the end, who are just, they're small roles, but they have the potential to grow into bigger roles in season 2 and 3, which are up in my head still. So there's definitely, I want to keep going. I want to grow this story. I know how the whole thing ends. I know who lives. I know who dies, and I want to get there. So there's definitely potential to.
So if you want spoilers, take Jordan out for drinks. I'll tell you how many it takes to get him to start talking.
Which is one of the perks for donating. So I buy you the drinks.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
no. That's
donate
really,
drinks to the director.
Yeah.
Okay. So remind people how often the episodes are going to come out and where they can find it.
Well, we're hoping to get the rest of the season 1 out by the end of this year, and we're thinking we're probably going to dump episodes 2 through 6 online all at once, so that you don't have to wait for it.
Like a binge.
Yeah, kind of like the Netflix model, and just so you can have them and see what people think. But you can find, if you type in Fabletown pilot on YouTube, it's the first thing that pops up.
There you go. Well, Jordan and Kristen, thank you so much for popping in again. We're so excited about this now. If your fundraising campaign is still going,
yes.
Where do they go to for that?
You go to FabletownSeries.com, and that redirects you right to the Indiegogo page. Even $10 means the world to us. It really helps.
Another drink for Jordan to have to deal with his cast and crew, I'm sure. I direct. I know the allure of a flask in your pocket from time to time.
Know.
I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it happens.
Did that happen, Kristen, at all? Do you remember any of that?
Well, we had some long days.
We did.
Long days and longer nights.
You mean to wrap it up?
Yeah, you want to wrap it up.
All right.
I bogarted the whole conversation.
You're
here, man.
listening to Mornings Lone Star. We still got till 11 o'clock today, so stick around. We got more stuff coming your way. 4th of July is on Wednesday. It's 10:23 right now. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-3666. 7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Welcome back to Mornings Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. On Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Brought to you by Conroe Coffee and Clean Sweep Office Clean. That was Fabletown in the studio. They dropped their pilot, folks. Check it out on YouTube. Just look up Fabletown pilot. It's about 18 minutes long, so it's going to be an enjoyable 18 minutes for you guys.
And think about it. Most half-hour sitcoms are only 22 minutes long.
I want to fix the camera real quick.
You fix that. Most half-hour sitcoms nowadays are about 22 minutes long. So 18 minutes, that's a full half-hour episode in, quote, the real world. Real intense, great acting, good production values. You definitely want to check out Fabletown, even if you don't know about the source story. But yeah, fable characters, fairy tale characters in the real world, undergoing some real world problems. And believe me, this is not your Disney Once Upon a Time stuff. This is kind of hardcore stuff, not for the faint of heart. There you go. Is the and Dick fixed the camera? Looks all pretty now. we gotta make me look better. Hold on, I'm gonna take something to drink. You take over right now.
Okay. Yeah, no, what's funny about this kind of stuff is I wonder what the general population's interest is in new independent things. Because I remember, what was it, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there was a big surge of spotlight, or, basically independent filmmaking was
Fox Searchlight
making its official brand on certain big studios. And when you're consuming content, what changed the way was the internet, being able to consume things that could be made by your neighbor or made by, some small group who's very talented, especially like groups like Fabletown, who put everything they can into making this web series. Because I wouldn't even call it a web series now. Maybe 10 years ago you call it a web series, but today, you just call it a TV series.
Yeah,
to me, in my mind,
a streaming series or something like that to differentiate it from broadcast TV. Because you say network broadcast, cable broadcast, you can say streaming broadcast now.
Yeah,
as the third. You're right, the third outlet.
And it's almost like the internet's now balancing itself out where, 5 to 10 years ago, you had the viral videos, but now it's becoming the norm of like what's popular, what can spread the fastest, especially using social media as your way to connect with people. I was having, we had Blue Epiphany in. So I went over there afterwards.
Oh, you did?
Yes, because I was meeting, one of my friends was in town with his wife, and I told Holly, it's like, hey, I'm gonna show this place to them, and we're gonna hang out for a bit. And I was talking to was it Chris? Chris was there, and he was talking about how they're relatively new, like he said, but making the impact was basically social media. It wasn't like a newspaper article. It wasn't something that was I would say, old way of spreading. It's like it's all social media. It's like that's the only thing he's interested in when it comes to spending money and reaching out to people, because that's the most effective way he sees it, is people seeing Blue Epiphany and they actually check it out.
Right. And so you have to have the content that inspires people to watch.
It's a nice area, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
But I tried I did the wine tasting, and it didn't make me throw up. So that's why, that's a thumbs up by me.
That's a plus for sure. Come and try this wine. It didn't make me throw up.
Sorry.
I know you're not a wine drinker.
Yeah. Not a wine drinker.
Well, there you go.
But same thing with Fabletown. That's one thing I enjoyed about that kind of opportunity especially for young filmmakers. Because I would say now we're starting to see younger filmmakers in the spotlight, because the guy, like, for example, who did Star Wars, the horrible movie, The Last Jedi, he's making this one, the next one, but he's from the smaller budget movies in a sense of that's where he started gaining his reputation as a good director. But maybe now it's
Well, that makes sense because some of the character choices in this one are more of a European style.
You're talking about
character.
Fabletown.
No, well, no.
You're talking about Star Wars.
I'm talking about Star Wars.
Okay.
Then my issues with that maybe because, you know, the low budget studio film or independent film where, you know, the character choices made on that are kind of more apt to that instead of a big blockbuster where I don't want to say it's cookie cutter, but Star Wars is a procedural. You have to have your lightsaber battle. You have to have, you know, the space fleet do this. You have to have the big bad, whether it's the Emperor or Snoke.
Well, what really threw me off too is how everything came together towards the end of the film. It didn't feel like it came together.
Oh, just across the board. I know
Because
we seem to be booking.
his other movies, the guy who directed it, did movies that are based off of like really neat things are coming. It's like you're going towards the end of the film and it's all becoming a revelation. Like he did Brick, he did Looper, he did there's 2 other ones he really did that are okay. Like the Brothers Bloom, which I don't think did as well as Brick, but you ever seen Brick before?
No, I haven't.
That was just an interesting movie, and it had a lot of great dynamics to it in a sense of it was like a film noir, but in high school. Took place in a high school kind of setting.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's the only thing I don't really get.
But no, so shows, you're right. Shows like Fabletown or like there are more Star Trek fanfic a series out there on YouTube that are really good, that they're becoming known as a real outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And much like, when a few years ago, when it was the independent film, it bust out of the cliche of little, 2 guys with a Super 8 camera doing something horrible. When you got Blair Witch, when you've got Paranormal
What's
Activity.
great about that, though, and you see a lot of these larger corporations trying to grasp how to limit the impact of people's opinions. So, for example, like Fabletown has an opportunity to be shared, but larger, like the way I see it, to give you an idea, people online love rating things. And there's like Rotten Tomatoes or things like that. Like, for example, the biggest shift I saw, especially with filmmaking, is IMDb took away their forum boards. And IMDb is a huge website.
I noticed that.
It's Internet Movie Database, but they've been around for a long time in the sense of people, like community-wise. People would go and talk about movies that are 30 years old, but it was a great way to go and check out what people were saying about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling the larger corporation studios saw that as a huge negative, because especially for new releases getting hit so badly, and like you look at the current conditions of a Star Wars franchise, they're trying to like rebuild what they think they're losing or rethink it. But things like Fabletown, that's funny. They said that you get a downvote on YouTube, and now you can consider it art because someone disagrees with it.
Yeah, I think the worst thing you can do is to get rid of dissenting views. IMDb to get rid of their forums. This is where the filmmakers can go incognito and find out what went wrong to try to fix it. Instead, they're basically effectively putting their fingers to their ears and going blah blah blah.
Well,
blah,
you get to the point where the narrative of the online forums is like, oh, you're Russian. And those are always my favorite, because now every time you read an internet comment, you're like second guessing yourself. Oh, is this a Russian bot or
no,
whatever?
It's not a Russian bot. It's just people being jerks.
But then again, like that's kind of oversimplifying that issue. But then you have stuff like an art piece or especially a movie, and that's what we talk about on the ticket stub. It kind of amazes me that there's so much talent and so much good examples of good movies that it's so hard to produce one, which doesn't make sense to me. Similar to like the NFL world. The NFL world and football, I was like, why is it so hard to find a good quarterback? Because there's only like 30-something teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how many people play football and how many people play quarterback in this country? And then it's like, but there's only like 3 good quarterbacks every year. And I'm like, I wonder why that is. Like, you think there would be like a good number.
They'd have a bigger stable.
Yeah, you think it would be. But same thing with movies. You wonder how somebody with a franchise like Star Wars just can't produce that same magic. Because there's only a few movies that continue the same magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more the team and the people who make it.
Well, yeah, it seems to be the bean counters, those who come in who haven't seen the previous versions. I'll take like the Alien movies or even the Terminator movies as another example. Each one is made by someone who didn't see the previous or wants to deny what happened in previous versions. And that's why that's why there's so many reboots instead of another sequel. So like we got to pretend that Superman 3 and 4 never happened when we brought back Superman Returns. There's a direct sequel. They're doing a new Alien, and it's going to be forgetting that Alien Resurrection and Alien 3 ever happened. To have people who just so Star Wars, same thing. So many things denied what was already established. That's what Luke's not supposed to be a whiny crybaby who hides out. He's Luke Skywalker. I don't care if you've gotten old. He's the one that rushes into adventure. He's headstrong. He's always been the one that says is in danger of going to the dark side of the Force.
Well, that's one thing that confused me. I was waiting for them to show me like why he was acting this way.
And it never happened. And I'm sorry, but even the execution at the end, I get, the other day we talked about Chekhov's rifle, the literary device. If you show a rifle, you have to use it. The second they showed that on that planet, if you took a footstep, it was red. And then you see Luke, who looks different. He's got the young beard and he doesn't leave a footprint. I'm like, I knew the whole rest of the movie at that point. It was so in your face that they showed it like 3 times that he wasn't leaving footprints. And that it was his younger self. So I knew it was a projection. And I just ruined it. They didn't trust the audience. You got to be able to trust your audiences.
So do you have any idea what the next Star Wars is? I have no idea.
No, they don't have a name for it yet. They don't have a color for it yet, because you can kind of tell each time the Star Wars, the title itself is whatever the outline color is supposed to be a clue.
Okay. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to kind of touch on with like Fabletown. It's a good opportunity to experience something better, because I think the general idea of going to the theater and seeing me is like when we saw Ocean's 8, like I was just disappointed. I was like, man, how can you make a movie like this and not have it be entertaining? Because you have such a great cast. You have a simple storyline. They're stealing something.
Yeah, it's not as if you're in uncharted territory.
Yeah, and it blew my mind, because I was like, this is so like even Cate Blanchett was boring, and she usually is so good.
I know.
And I'm like,
right?
man, okay.
I fell in love with her all over again in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, it really surprised me how boring that movie was. But especially, I wish someone could watch that movie with me so I could discuss it, because there's a lot of things I did not get in the movie, because we did it on the ticket stub. We all kind of agreed on similar plot holes that just didn't make any sense. And they did it for the sake of, we have all these great actresses. Let's make sure we keep showing how great they are. But that's how crappy that movie was.
Nah.
You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star. We'll be right back. We're on a break. It's 10:39.
We were on a break.
And we'll be back.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6 Texans struggles with food insecurity and hunger. And many people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. The Better Living for Texans program is here to help you learn how to make healthy menu choices, save money at the grocery store, prepare quick and delicious meals, get more good nutrition in your day, and get more physical activity. Classes are fun, friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Welcome back to our final segment of the morning, 10:42 on the dot. Mornings, Lone Star, Dick and Skippy. Good morning so far. Talking a lot of movie stuff, and of course, meeting with just Jordan and Kristen with Fabletown. Check it out, Fabletown Pilot on YouTube, or go to Facebook and look up Fabletown. Great series. I watched the pilot. Pilot's out there for you to watch, and they do have an Indiegogo campaign to help fund this thing. This is a serious project. Like I said, this is not a just for fun and kids with a camera. This is not a cat video. So check it out.
Don't check out Star Wars.
Well, you got to watch it just to say you watched it.
Yeah.
You can't have the missing. Did you ever watch Stranger Things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because Mrs. Skippy and I were over the weekend. We were trying to watch some episodes of season 2. She actually waited for me. Season 1, she binged it without me, but didn't tell me.
Okay.
And so I'm watching it, and I think we're watching it for the first time together. But then I see her kind of covering her eyes 5 seconds before something scary happens. Wait a minute, you've already seen this, and she broke down. So she didn't this time. So we watched a couple of the episodes. It's cool. And that's another project that could have been something so much less. Can you imagine Stranger Things as a web series? I actually can.
Yeah.
Or
I wouldn't call it less.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It just would have been different, but you can see these ones like Paranormal Activity. I could see that as a streaming thing that would just scare the pants off of you. And there's actually, I actually watched the first episode of this. There's this kind of interactive TV version of War Games going on. It's a brand new setup. It's all done through all the footage in it is FaceTime conversations and webcams. And that as any scenes going on, you can choose who you're concentrating on, whose device you're watching from to see the others. It's really interesting. Very different, kind of the wave of the future where you can actually, you're not changing the plot, but you can change kind of things you see by following this person's device. You may be missing what's going on in other people's devices. So it's different each time you watch. Really interesting.
Well, where do you see the future of that entertainment side really going? Because I know we kind of did some conspiracy theories about Disney buying Fox intellectual properties where they're just trying to own all the proven content that's proven to make them money. But when it comes down to shows like, not necessarily Fabletown, because Fabletown's based off something else, but where it comes to the creative process of creating something new and independent, do you see that being, having that burden because you're competing with so many big name things that are just keep coming out?
I don't think it'll be a burden. I think quite the opposite. I think it will open up the non-Disney / Fox outlets. Basically, I can make a movie and say, hey, this is not Disney and Fox. Boom, people come watch it because they want something different. That is not been, quote,
I feel like that's the strategy of The Rock.
Oh, Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah, well, because you look at most of the movies he's been in, he's only attached himself to a couple franchises.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the other movies, I would say about 60 to 75% of his other movies are just kind of different out there. Kind of like the Jumanji remake. No one knew that was going to make that much money.
Mm-hmm.
And it became a huge success. And then he has Skyscraper coming out. I wonder how much money that movie's going to make. And he had Rampage, which is random.
Yeah, he may be in a movie. Yeah, Beyond.
And he's Baywatch. I mean, that was kind of random.
Exactly. And you have your actors like Tom Cruise or Harrison Ford. So Harrison Ford is Han Solo. and he's Indiana Jones, and he's Jack Ryan. Then he has his other movies, but you have Tom Cruise, who's now Ethan Hunt, and he is this. So yeah, you're right. The Rock actually, there may be a sequel movie involved here and there, but he's not a franchise person. Good point. I like that. You should put that up on the ticket stub.
Well, what's interesting to me is I think it was Instagram announced not too long ago about they're competing against YouTube. And they now extended where you can do hour upload videos, and they're calling it like Instagram TV, I think. And because I would love to see a competitor to YouTube. And mainly because YouTube is such a weird landscape for people trying to push creative content, and it seems like every month they come out with a new restriction that puts them at a disadvantage for a creator, where it comes down to say monetary reasons or even more for promotional reasons. But that's what I don't know if you saw that. Because I think they're talking about on our Facebook feed, talking about social media is more suited to found footage than actual cinema. And Brett, I mean that there is some truth to that, but it also comes down to Facebook and what they show you, because you can't rent a movie or a show on YouTube on Facebook, but you can consume like the trailers and things like that. Especially if you follow those pages of like say Iron Man or something like that. They do create content specifically for social media, but it's not the entire cinematic universe. Because remember when the internet started gaining, like every movie had to have a website, and then they started doing like PR campaigns where it's like 5 minisodes leading up, kind of like what Prometheus did. Remember that?
I didn't watch, but I heard of it.
Because that was another series that you kind of like, you spent the whole movie liking this one character, and then they didn't do it at all in the next movie. They kind of like gave you some hints in the background what happened to her. But then it's just like, well, why do that? Why not just continue and just have that part of the movie? Because everyone liked that character.
It's almost like Secret Club kind of stuff. Like watching The Walking Dead. During the commercial break, they have a little 30-second something story that each episode it progresses another 30 seconds. And there was this one where there was a zombie. Someone dies on an airplane and turns into a zombie. So all these people are trapped on an airplane. And it was a standalone, and like I said, 30 seconds at a time. But then on one of the other series, you see these characters show up. I'm like, yeah, I was on an airplane with a zombie on it, and it was interesting because you got a little backstory. 30 seconds made me feel I was like in a secret club that not everyone was privy to.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't see where it's going to end up, especially when you're trying to get someone's attention because you're trying to talk about, let's go see a movie for 2 hours. I'm not going to be on. Well, to give you a great example is when Twitter and Facebook do their live like soccer shows. I can't watch it on Facebook because when you go full screen, sometimes it's not full screen, and there's too many interactive things going on where I'm getting people on like my actual Facebook sending me messages and stuff, and they make it harder and harder to keep track of what I was watching prior. It's almost like you just got to open up another window.
Yeah, and I think we're going to go back to that simplified times. I remember cars in the 80s had more buttons than Kit from Knight Rider. I mean, there was, switches and buttons everywhere. It was the thing. Or boom boxes had 3,000 buttons to do everything. And then what do we have now? We have our phones literally have one button of that. And
I'll be interested to see
for simplification.
Well, Instagram TV, I wonder how they're going to be able to capture somebody for an hour if they're on, because most people just surf Instagram. That's what they do. They're surfing.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. It's they'll splinter off. They'll go like iStream or InstaStream or whatever, and it'll be completely different from the Instagram brand. That's my take on it.
Well, I'll be interested just because I'm kind of anti-Instagram, mainly because they don't have a web interface.
I found that out just recently.
Yeah, fully functional web. I mean, they have it, but you can't upload. You can't do anything.
It's stupid.
So I always laugh when I see these professional photographers on there. I was like, man, that must be a strain to edit the photo in your Photoshop, crop it, send it to a device that will be able to upload.
Phone.
Yeah, I'm like, man, that just kind of sucks.
Because what if I took something with my webcam on my computer? Can't do it.
No, and that's why I'm interested to see what they do with Instagram TV, because they make it a point. It's only on your mobile device for Instagram. That's the whole point of it. Like, I think the only way to get it for your iPad is you have to download the mobile version. So you ever seen the mobile versions of apps on the iPad where it's like a little screen that looks like a phone? Like, that's how you have to do it on an iPad. Which, I mean, it might be different. I mean, I think that's something the younger generation is going to be able to adapt to, because they might say, "Hey, you're wrong, Richard. You can actually download this version and then convert it to this thing and make it work." But man, I don't know.
We'll find out.
Well, we got to wrap up today's show. Don't forget, we had Jordan from Fabletown in today. They dropped a pilot, and they're still, I think they have a couple more days of fundraising. So if you want to support local artists, they did this all in Houston, by the way. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, this is all local stuff here.
So that's all filmed in Houston. I think all the actors are based out of Houston, correct? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, they did have some actors who, as they said, sent in auditions from both coasts. But yeah, this is local crew, local equipment, local talent, local writer, local director.
But we got to close down today's show. Today's show is brought to you by Clean Sweep Office Clean and Conroe Coffee. Today's show will be available on YouTube, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and podcast. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have some folks in. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You're just kind of lost. You always do that. You kind of like veer off. Like, where are we going?
Oh, you're in the middle of it. Okay, so tomorrow we have Stephanie Davenport
with the Woodlands Charities. And they're going to do talk about an upcoming event that supports local families impacted by childhood cancer. So we're going to have those folks in the studio tomorrow. Don't forget, this is 4th of July. Coming up next, we got a replay of the weekly business hour. And, of course, Conroe Culture News will be all about health today with Margie Taylor. It'll be live. So check out their YouTube and Facebook page for Conroe Culture News. Then we have Nerd Thug Radio. And, of course, Rick the Reluctant Cowboy coming in for Afternoons of Lone Star. You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This is Mornings of Lone Star. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.